Hello everyone, welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And Australia have just punished a very ill-disciplined Argentinian side to win their third game in the bounce in the Rugby Championship, and to really sort of put down a bit of a marker of the sort of project that Dave Rennie is building. A 27-8 victory against Argentina, and pretty much outplayed them from start to finish. It was one-way traffic, apart from maybe a sort of 15-minute period where Argentina looked like they might be able to stage a bit of a comeback, but ultimately just not being able to do enough on the night. Before we take you through the game and stuff and look at some of the key moments and the fact that Marcus Kramer has a lot of apologizing to do for his side, please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. And yeah, so I mean, we were hoping to see a bit of an improved performance from Argentina. We haven't really seen the Argentina we've sort of come to know and love. But it was the worst possible start as Reece Hodge. I mean, Argentina started pretty well. We're on the attack. We're looking pretty good. And then, boom, a counter-attack try. Finished off by Reece Hodge, who slipped the tackle of Chukabaras. I think it was actually Sinti, the outside centre, to go over in the 5th minute with Quay Cooper adding the extras. And that was kind of a bit of a blow to the Argentina, who started off so well, and I think that they were up for the game, and then after that sort of started to crumble a little bit. Australia just sort of managed to sort of grow into the game. We're dominating a lot of set pieces. They scored again in the 18th minute through Samu Karevi, with Quay Cooper adding the extras. And Argentina managed to get into the ball in the first time through the boot of Bafeli in the 20th minute. But it was a case of Australia kind of camping out inside the Argentina half, and they had lots of set pieces, they had lots of opportunities, and Argentina were doing pretty well to sort of disrupt the flow and just sort of prevent them from doing anything and sort of scoring points. But they themselves then couldn't make their opportunities count. And Quay Cooper added an extra 3 in the 31st minute. So by half time, the game was pretty far away at 17-3 for Argentina. But they started off perfectly in the second half with Julian Montoya at the back of a huge rolling maul going over in the 42nd minute. And you thought that was sort of a catalyst, and Argentina suddenly started turning up the flare. But Marcus Kramer has got a lot to apologize for, because on 2 occasions, Argentina actually won a penalty and then had it overturned because of foul play by him. A no arms tackle, as well as kicking out at Reece Hodge. He got binned in the 55th minute. 5 minutes later, Australia were parked once again in the 23, getting a penalty, this time taking the points through the boot of James O'Connor. And then Andrew Kellaway went over in the 69th minute after a sustained period of pressure. James O'Connor adding the extra 2. And once again, Australia were going for all 5 points. They really wanted to get that bonus point, but just couldn't in the end. But if you look at some of the stats, it was pretty even. Possession was 50% each, 3 tries to 1. And defenders beaten 24 by Australia, just the 4 from Argentina. 4 clean breaks as well. 130 passes to 115 passes. Both teams trying to keep the ball alive, and had looked very promising on attack. But Argentina conceding possession 16 times at the breakdown, which just isn't good enough. You look at missed tackles, 25 missed tackles made by Argentina compared to the 3 missed by Australia. That kind of tells you the big story, isn't it? And at the breakdown was pretty even at Rux 1, but Argentina is conceding too much possession. Set plays, scrums won. Argentina won 33%, Australia 67%. Neither side lost a scrum, and both sides lost 2 lineouts. Especially in the first half, Argentina lineout was struggling a little bit. Discipline-wise, Argentina conceded 10 penalties, whereas Australia conceded 12. And then if you look at some of the sort of the big players throughout the game, I thought Karevi and Kellaway were very good. Koroibete had quite a few good runs, but I mean, Karevi carried the ball up 11 times, a match high. Very, very solid performance from him once again. 2 clean breaks, quite a few passes. He beat 6 defenders. Ikitau beat 3 defenders. Kellaway beat 4. It was far too easy for Australia in many instances. I thought Tupou was once again very good with 6 carries. Baltini was characteristically up there with the carries. For Argentina, I thought Marcus Kramer carried pretty well. Pablo Matero also carried quite a few times, as did Santiago Carreras, who I thought actually quite a good game. On defense, in terms of players who stood up, Argentina had to make a lot of tackles, none more than Pablo Matero. He made 17 tackles and didn't miss a single one. Kramer chipping in with 13, Gonzalez with 12. Madrano made 17 tackles. Chukabaras made 16, Carreras made 10. So they did have to work very hard on defense, and I think that's kind of what just wore them down. For the Australians, Matt Phillip made the most tackles with 9, but I mean, the only player that missed a tackle was Quay Cooper with 2, and apart from that, Reece Hodge with 1. and no Australian player missed the tackle. So that's why the Argentine, for all that they had good possession stuff like that, they just couldn't find a way through. So Australia keep marching on, and look, if the Springboks don't be careful, they might find themselves third in the Rugby Championship. They'll need to try and beat New Zealand next weekend to try and sort that out. But let me know what you thought about this game down in the comments below. Do smash like on the video as well. We will be live for the rest of the URC today and tomorrow, and then obviously we'll sort of reassess how the Rugby Championships going up over the week. But thank you very much for watching. My name is Stephen, and I'll chat to you guys soon.